Almost 2 years ago, I was working in a sales job here in Australia. The requirement of the job was to sell latest phones, gadgets, technologies, and home media to the customers. I used to have a very excellent colleague. Let's say his name is John. John was great with technology. He knew all the specifications of all the gadgets we used to sell. He could literally compare two phones in his head without using a computer. And he would tell these things to so many customers that interestingly, he developed something called the default fast rate of speech. What used to happen is he will explain things so fastly that customer could not keep up with him. Sometimes even I used to get confused when he will speak so fast about two phones. For example, if a customer asks him, what's the difference between this Samsung and an Apple phone? He will quickly go that this will have a Snapdragon processor, this has the i4 chip, this will have 30 megapixel camera, this will have an action mode and so on. He would think that by speaking fastly or speaking confidently, he would come off as an effective communicator, but that wasn't the case. What will happen is he will lose a sale or he couldn't convert the inquiry into sale because he was speaking so fast that the customer could not keep up with him. Me, on the other hand, I would vary the rate of speech. Whenever I want to build excitement, I will speak faster. Whenever there is an important specification I'm explaining to the customer based on his needs, I will say slowly. Whenever I have to give clarity to the customers, I will speak slowly. And whenever there is an irrelevant information, I will speak faster. What happened was the customer was hooked in the conversation at all times, and it gave me the edge of converting that inquiry into the sale. Here, I'm not bragging about my sales capacity or sales capabilities. The underlying lesson here is if you have a constant rate of speech, no matter if it's very slow, if it's fast, or even normal, you will lose your audience. Your listener would be like, either it's too hard to keep up or is it boring? And that's why they will just disconnect from you. And in this video, exactly that's what I'm going to tell you, how I developed that variable rate of speech, why it is important, and how you can develop. This rate of speech is one of the 5 foundation pillars of an effective communication. And this will be a 5-part series when in this first video, I'm going to share how the rate of speech works, how to vary it, when to vary it. And following this, we'll have 4 more videos which will explain all these 4 pillars of effective communication. So make sure you watch all the videos. Now let me tell you what exactly is the rate of speech. Let me give you a demo here. Let's say I start this video like, hi, my name is Omkar. I'm excited to be here and I'm so glad that you're watching my video. Some of you might jump on the Instagram, started scrolling the reel already while I finished that sentence. You see what happened here? I lost the engagement, or let's say the hook of the communication, because these days attention is like a digital gold. As long as you can keep your audience engaged in your conversation, that's what you have won the race. But if you speak so slowly, you will lose the effectiveness of your conversation. Now let's say on the other hand, I start the video like this. Hey all, thanks for watching the video. My name is Omkar. I'm very happy to hear. You see what happened? It's so fast that you can't keep it. You will think that, oh, this person is speaking so fast and it's not my cup of tea, and you will just move on from the video. So even if it's slow or too fast, not effective. But on the other hand, if I talk in a normal rate of speech, for the first 1 minute or for the first 2 minutes, the conversation might feel interesting. But then if I keep talking like this again and again and again, you'll start to feel that it's monotonous. You'll start to feel that it's the same rate of speech, which makes it less engaging, less influential, and that's what you will skip the video. So now can you spot the trend here? If I'm too slow, if I'm normal, or even if I'm too fast, if it becomes a default rate of speech, it is like the death of the conversation. You will lose your audience like this. So it's very important to vary this rate of speech. And in the next part of the video, in a minute, I will tell you how to change it, when to change it, and why you should change the rate of speech. And you know, based off of all the people I've helped with, I have noticed one thing, that let's say if you're an Indian person working in a Western country, this is one of the things that holds you back. I remember when I was in university, first week of the university, very excited. I went to be a part of a group assignment. We were 5 people. I was one of them. There was 3 Australian people and 1 Chinese person. What happened is I used to have a very strong Indian accent. So imagine this: low clarity, Indian accent, and very poor articulation. It was the recipe of disaster. People will ask me after every sentence, sorry, what was that? Could you please repeat? I used to be so anxious, so nervous that I will just try to run away from every conversation. So trust me when I say that your rate of speech, your articulation, and your pronunciations are so critical whenever it comes to either your professional conversation or even conversations in your daily life. Now you must be wondering, why does the rate of speech is important? Let me tell you a funny fact about our brain. Our brain loves to predict. Let's say you're talking with somebody and your brain is like, I can predict the rate of speech. It will immediately check out from the conversation. That's why slowing down, making it faster, or a normal rate of speech is important. That is kind of the secret sauce of the engagement. If you master this art of slowing down, speaking fast, or in a normal pace, you will be an excellent communicator, hands down. So let me tell you a thumb rule where you should slow down, where you have normal, and where you have to have the fast rate of speech. The first thing is, if you're talking about something very important or if it's very crucial for the conversation, you should always slow down. You will see that when you're watching a comedian or even a comedy show or an online video of a comedy, the comedian will never move and he will slow down on the punchline because he wants to land the punchline to the audience. Have you ever thought about that before? If not, then it's a good conversation starter to have in the next conversation. And whenever, let's say, the importance of whatever you're saying is not that important, or it's like a background information, you can always like make it fast so that it will create some excitement. And whenever it's like a normal part of the conversation which neither super important or super not important, you can always use the normal pace of speech. So this is now you have why it is important to have variable rate of speech and when to use what. Now let me talk about something that a lot of students of mine ask me the question, especially from the people from India or people from the countries who have a very strong accent. They keep asking me, is my accent the problem, or is it the reason that people don't pay attention to what I say or they don't understand? So the answer is no. Poor articulation and pronunciation is the problem, your accent is not. As I was saying in my previous example, that a recipe of the disaster is having strong accent, poor articulation, and poor pronunciation. So even if you work on these two things, like improve your articulation, improve your rate of speech and pronunciations, that's it. Your accent will not match anymore. So if you have strong accent, if you focus on clear articulation, clear pronunciation, and variable rate of speech, you will win the conversation. Imagine this: if you have a strong accent and if you speak faster, it will rob you of your clarity. So next time when you try to speak slower when you have an accent and see the magic. One of the other questions my students or the people I help with ask me all the time, that why does slowing down feel so difficult or feel so unnatural? Especially from people coming from India, we are always used to work in a fast-paced speed. We used to have crowded classrooms. We'll always speak faster depending on our mother tongue. That is the problem. If you are very used to speaking faster or at a high speech or high speed of rate in your mother tongue, that's the same habit you carry in English as well. That's why it feels so unorthodox or not so natural. Now, lastly, at the end of the video, here's a summary of what I talked about. Whenever there is an important point to explain or when you need clarity in the point, always slow down your speed. Whenever the information is kind of a background information or not so relevant, you can always increase your rate of speech. You can always increase your rate of speech in order to build some, let's say, excitement in the conversation as well. Another thing is, if you have a strong accent, try to slow down when you speak. If strong accent mixes with the fast rate of speech, it creates more confusion and robs you of the clarity. I hope this video helps, and I'm gonna post 4 more videos of highlighting these foundation principles of an effective communication. So make sure you watch it, send it to your friends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.